Good morning everyone and welcome to the class. We are doing the chapter Cold War and Non-Aligned Movement, and under this chapter we were discussing the new international economic order which was proposed by the report of UNCTAD, that is United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. This UNCTAD, which is a principal organ of General Assembly of United Nations Organization, this UNCTAD has its main focus is the economic development of LDC, least developed countries, and it came into existence in the year 1964, and in 1972 it brought out a report, and the name of the report was Towards a New Trade Policy for Development. And what we see that this report was regarding the protection of the interest of the least developed countries. In this report, we see that such reforms were proposed which were there to safeguard the interest of the least developed countries. Like the first recommendation was that the LDCs, they must be given their control over their resources, and the resources which these countries are having, they must have their own control over the resources. The developed countries, especially the Western countries, should not control the resources of the least developed countries. And we have seen this was happening during the Cold War era, and still today this is happening because the powerful countries, the superpowers, during the Cold War era, they used to control these smaller countries in order to control the resources of these countries. So the first suggestion which is given by this report was that the resources should be in the control of the LDCs. Then the second proposal was regarding the equal rights of equal economic rights of the least developed countries, because what was prevailing, and actually it is prevailing at present also, that the market of the least developed countries are open for Western countries, for developed countries, but the market of the developed countries are not open for LDCs. So this is what we can say this, why this kind of things are happening, because the international system, the world economic order, not international system, the world economic order is based on the principle of inequality. As the countries are developed, so they are given access to the market of the LDCs, but the LDCs are least developed countries, so they do not enjoy any kind of power and influence in international politics, and they are not given access to the market of developed countries. So this should not be done. This is wrong. अगर LDCs के मार्केट ओपन हुए हैं डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज़ के लिए, तो डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज़ के मार्केट भी ओपन होने चाहिए LDCs के लिए. Okay, then the another reform suggestion was to reduce the cost of technology from the Western countries. We see the technological gap is there between the developed countries and least developed countries. So in order to fill this gap, there is a provision for transfer of technology, but this technology is very costly. So the suggestion is कि the cost should be reduced so that the LDCs can purchase the advanced technologies from the developed countries. And after that there was provision, there was reform suggestion to that the least developed countries must be given greater role in international economic institutions like IMF, WTO. In all these organizations, the least developed countries should also be given a greater role. Then only we can think of a new international economic order which will be based on the principle of equality, which will be fair for all the countries. But at present what is prevailing, it's not fair economic system. So what we find that this non-aligned movement came into existence as a political body. Its character was completely political because it was there. It emerged only to provide the third option to the countries of the world, because after Second World War we have seen that the world was dividing into two power blocks. So this division of the world into two power blocks was a great threat for world peace and security, and that is why this non-aligned movement was started, because the founding fathers of this non-aligned movement were of the opinion that this kind of groupism, the division of the world into two groups or two blocks, is very it's very bad for world peace and security. So if we want to bring peace and security in the world, there is need to reduce this groupism, and that is why this third option was presented to the countries, because earlier countries have only two options: either they can join the Western Alliance or the Eastern Alliance, but now they have the third option. And if they go for third option, what will be the benefit of adopting this third option? They will be free in their foreign policy. They will not be required to follow the सुपर पावर्स. वो अपने हिसाब से अपने फॉरेन पॉलिसी को डिटरमाइन कर सकते हैं. उनको सुपर पावर्स के अकॉर्डिंगली चलने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं होती है. तो एक तरह से उनके इंडिपेंडेंस को एंश्योर करना ही नॉन अलाइन मूवमेंट का पर्पस था. फॉर दैट पर्पस this non-aligned movement came into existence, but slowly what we find that this nature of non-aligned movement started to change. From political nature it started to convert to economic nature, because we see that the economic problem of the third world countries was very grave. Almost all the countries of the third world were facing economic problem. So there was need to solve this economic problem, and that is why we see that this NAM started to take the form of an economic forum, and it also started to work as an international economic pressure group. Its aim was to put pressure on the developed countries so that they adopt such policies, so that they adopt such trade policies which are in favor of the least developed countries and the developing countries. तो इस तरह से ये इसके जो नेचर है वो चेंज हो जाता है, and it take the form of an international economic pressure group. And what we find that late 90s आते आते ये जो न्यू इंटरनेशनल इकोनॉमिक ऑर्डर को इस्टेब्लिश करने का एक इनिशिएटिव लिया गया थ्रू दिस UNCTAD, ये इट स्टार्ट्स टू बी फेडेड. इसका जो चार्म था वो धीरे धीरे कम होने लगा. एंड व्हाट वाज द रीज़न कि ये समझ में आने लगा कि इट इज़ वेरी डिफ़िकल्ट to establish this new international economic order. It is very difficult to set up a new international economic order which will be based on the principle of equality. बिकॉज ये क्यों फीलिंग आने लगा कि ये बहुत डिफ़िकल्ट है, इसको डिफ़िकल्ट क्या, इट्स इम्पॉसिबल, नियरली इम्पॉसिबल टू एस्टैब्लिश new international economic order because there was a stiff opposition from the developed countries. They were not in favor of adopting any kind of new trade policies which will protect the interest of the least developed countries. They were not in favor of new international economic order. They were completely united. All the developing countries were united in this regard, and they did not want to give any kind of concession to these least developed countries. They did not want to adopt the such trade policies which are based on equality. They wanted to retain their supremacy in the international economic order. They were not at all worried to establish this new international economic order because it was against their interest. अगर नई international economic order establish हो जाती, इस suggestions जो दिया गया UNCTAD ने दिया उसको अगर मान लिया जाता, तो what was the impact of that एक्ट, अगर वो हो जाता तो उसका क्या इम्पैक्ट होता? ये इम्पैक्ट होता कि जो डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज़ जो अभी तक डोमिनेंस पोजीशन में थे वहाँ से वो नीचे आ जाते और एलडीसी एंड डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज़ एक लेवल पे आ जाते, जो कि वो नहीं चाहते हैं. दे वांट टू डोमिनेट, दे वांट टू कंट्रोल द इकोनॉमिक ऑर्डर ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. सो दे यूनाइटेडली अपोज्ड दिस न्यू इकोनॉमिक ऑर्डर. एंड यूनिटी में स्ट्रेंथ होता है, तो वो पूरी तरह से यूनाइटेड है ऑन द वन हैंड. ऑन द अदर हैंड व्हाट वी फाइंड दैट द कंट्रीज ऑफ द थर्ड वर्ल्ड आर नॉट यूनाइटेड. देयर इज लैक ऑफ यूनिटी. दे आर स्ट्रगलिंग टू मेंटेन देयर यूनिटी बिकॉज all the countries of the third world are facing so many problems, different types of problems they are facing. So in order to solve the problem, they are getting different types of aids from the developed countries. तो इनके बीच unity नहीं है, क्योंकि the developed countries are giving them financial aid, the developed countries are giving them military aid. तो अगर डेवलप्ड कंट्री उनको मिलिट्री एड देंगे तो वो क्या करेंगे? वो अपने ग्रुप को छोड़ के दे विल बिकम द फॉलोअर ऑफ द डेवलप्ड कंट्री. तो इससे क्या होगा? हमारा जो ग्रुप था थर्ड वर्ल्ड कंट्रीज का वो कमज़ोर था, उसमें यूनिटी नहीं थी. तो दिस वाज द प्रॉब्लम. बिकॉज ऑफ दिस न्यू इंटरनेशनल इकोनॉमिक ऑर्डर वाज नॉट cannot be established. Even today this UNCTAD has given the report in the year 1972, and today we are in 2020. So many years have passed, around 50 years. Still the situation is same. There is no change in the new international economic order. Even today we see that the dominance of the Western countries has increased. All the countries have been forced to open their economy. All the countries of this third world were forced by the WTO to adopt the policy of liberalization, privatization and globalization. So all these things are against the interest of the LDCs. All whatever happens, जो कुछ भी हो रहा है, जो कुछ भी होता है, that is there only to protect the interest of the stronger party. जो भी strong है उसके accordingly ही सारे काम होते हैं, especially in international politics, जहाँ पर कि कोई भी international government नहीं है. we have UNO, but the UNO is not a form of international government. The decisions of UNO is not binding. Some of the decision taken by Security Council is binding, but other decisions are not binding on the members of the country. So it's not any kind of international government. तो इस condition में जहाँ पर कि countries are there but there is no international government, so is in this situation which the principle which work is might is right. जो भी strong होता है, everything happens according to the interest of the stronger group or stronger nation. Okay, so now we are coming to the next segment of the chapter, and this segment is India and the Cold War. So, what was the role of India in the Cold War? This is the main topic of discussion, and we see that our Prime Minister Pandit Nehru was one of the most important founding fathers of the non-aligned movement, and this non-aligned movement was India's response to the Cold War. जब इंडिया आज़ाद होता है, we got independence, at that time this Cold War was going on. It was just started, है ना? After Second World War the Cold War started and we got independence in the year 1947. So when we got independence we saw that two superpowers are there. There is rivalry between these two superpowers, and there is alliance system was working, and the world was started to divide into two groups or two alliance, the Western Alliance and the Eastern Alliance. So the reaction of India, what was the reaction of India towards this situation? At that time, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was not only the Prime Minister of India, but he was also the Foreign Minister of India. And it was Nehru who was formulating the foreign policy of the country, and he was the solely he was taking the decision, though there was cabinet members were there. बट नेहरू के जो व्यूज़ थे उसी के हिसाब से सारी कुछ चीज़ें होती थी. एंड ये जो नॉन अलाइंड मूवमेंट हम देख रहे हैं, इसको स्टार्ट करने वाले हमारे पंडित नेहरू ही हैं. तो ये जो सिचुएशन वर्ल्ड में प्रिवेल कर रहा था आफ्टर द सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर, उसमें इंडिया का जो रिस्पॉन्स था वो यही था कि इसे दोनों में से किसी भी अलायंस में इंडिया को नहीं जाना था. इंडिया did not want to enter any of the two alliances, neither Western Alliance nor Eastern Alliance. India was not to join any of the alliances. It wanted to stay away from these two alliances. And secondly, we see that not only India wanted this for itself, कि हम अपनी कंट्री के बारे में सिर्फ ये व्यू नहीं था कि हमको किसी भी अलायंस सिस्टम से नहीं जुड़ना है, बट नेहरू वॉज अ विजनरी लीडर. ही हैड विजन. वो समय से आगे की सोच करके उसके अकॉर्डिंगली ही यूज्ड टू टेक डिसीजंस. तो वो सिर्फ अपने लिए नहीं कह रहे थे कि हमें किसी भी ग्रुप में नहीं शामिल होना है, बट ही वॉज ऑफ द ओपिनियन दैट देयर मस्ट बी यूनिटी अमंग द न्यूली इंडिपेंडेंट कंट्रीज ऑफ एशिया एंड अफ्रीका. बिकॉज जब हमारे बीच यूनिटी होगी, जो कि आफ्टर सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर जो कंट्रीज आज़ाद हो रहे हैं एशिया और अफ्रीका के, तो देयर वॉज नीड टू बी यूनाइटेड. जब हम यूनाइटेड होंगे तभी हम इस जो वर्ल्ड पॉलिटिक्स है, जो इंटरनेशनल पॉलिटिक्स है, उसमें हम कुछ कर पाएंगे, हमारी कुछ इम्पोर्टेंस होगी। और जो भी एशिया एंड अफ्रीका के जो भी कंट्रीज थे, जो भी थर्ड वर्ल्ड कंट्रीज थे, दे वर फेसिंग ऑलमोस्ट सेम टाइप ऑफ प्रॉब्लम. इकोनॉमिक प्रॉब्लम वॉज देयर, then problem of integration of the country, then problem to establish democratic government in the country. So all the countries, almost all the countries were facing same type of problems. तो अगर वो एक होकर रहेंगे तो क्या होगा कि their strength will become more, they will become more powerful, and they will be able to solve their problems also. So it was not that India wanted only for itself that it should not join any of the two groups, but it also raised its voice against the newly decolonized countries becoming part of these alliances. It wanted that the countries which have been newly decolonized, जो नए नए decolonized हुए हैं, the countries which are newly independent, decolonized or independent, both are same. So जो newly independent countries हैं, उनको किसी भी ग्रुप को नहीं ज्वाइन करना है. ओके, सो दिस इज कॉल्ड लीडरशिप. और यही किया, इंडिया के इनिशिएटिव पे ही नाम की स्टार्टिंग होती है. तो ये जो व्यू है इंडिया का कि हमको किसी भी ग्रुप में नहीं शामिल होना है, वो सिर्फ अपने लिए नहीं था, बल्कि जो अदर कंट्रीज थे उसके लिए भी वो वही चाहता था कि कोई भी जो न्यूली डीकोलोनाइज्ड कंट्रीज हैं वो किसी भी अलायंस सिस्टम को नहीं, उसमें नहीं घुसे, वो दे शुड नॉट एंटर एनी ऑफ द अलायंसेस. एंड वी सी दैट नेहरू has also explained the policy of non-alignment. He said that this NAM was not a policy of fleeing away. It's not कि हम भागना चाहते हैं. We just want to stay away from the alliance system. हमको alliance system का part नहीं होना है. But we are not staying away from the international politics. We are very much involved in the international politics. It was this non-aligned movement was neither negative nor passive. It was active politics, and it has positivity because it was against the alliance system, and in this way it wanted to promote the world peace and security. So it was not fleeing away from the international politics, but it was staying away from the alliance system. And India was very much active. If we see the participation of India in international politics, we find that India was very much active in world affairs. Many times the superpowers US and USSR were there. एक दूसरे के आमने सामने होते थे, ऐसा लगता था कि वॉर होने वाला है, थर्ड वर्ल्ड वॉर होने वाला है. And in that situation India was there to mediate between the two. Korea crisis, when Korea crisis arose, at that time the role played by India was really admirable. So we see that the non-aligned movement was not a passive or negative movement, but it was a very positive and active movement. Not only this, India also wanted that the other countries of the non-aligned movement must contribute in the efforts of the world peace. They should also come forward in softening the relationship between US and USSR. and moreover it was also an effort of India that those international or regional organization which were not part of the Western Alliance or Eastern Alliance, they should become more important. कि इट शुड नॉट हैपन कि पूरी दुनिया में बस दो ही चीज़ें हमें नज़र आ रही हैं, एक वेस्टर्न अलायंस और एक ईस्टर्न अलायंस. दिस विल अगर ऐसा हो जाता तो वर्ल्ड पीस के लिए एक बहुत बड़ा थ्रेट होता. एंड नॉन अलाइंड मूवमेंट को स्टार्ट करना इसी पर्पज से हुआ. देन इंडिया वांटेड दैट जो भी रीजनल और इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस ऐसे हैं जो कि यूएस या यूएसएसआर के लीडरशिप में नहीं हैं, उनको स्ट्रॉन्ग बनाया जाए, उनको एक्टिवेट किया जाए. जैसे कॉमनवेल्थ जो कंट्रीज़ हैं वो कंट्रीज़ हैं जो कि ब्रिटिश एम्पायर की कॉलोनी रहे हों, उनका एक ग्रुप है दैट इज़ नोन एज कॉमनवेल्थ कंट्रीज़. So India wanted that there must be a genuine commonwealth of free and cooperative nations that should play a positive role in softening the Cold War. So this was the role played by India. And now we will see that we can't say that there is another aspect also, and we see that we can't say that non-aligned movement was only an ideological aspect. It's not like that, because it is many times it is said that India adopted this non-aligned movement in order to fulfill its real interest, because India was not with any of the alliances. India was neither with the US nor with the USSR. What does it mean? It means that India was with both of the countries. जब जिसकी ज़रूरत पड़ेगी तब वो उसका साथ ले लेगा. This is called opportunistic. तो इस तरह की बातें भी की जाती हैं और इसमें ऐसा नहीं हम वी कांट से कि ये गलत है. दैट वाज आल्सो अ रीज़न फॉर अडॉप्टिंग दिस नॉन अलाइंड पॉलिसी बाय आवर कंट्री, बिकॉज इट वाज द ओपिनियन ऑफ नेहरू दैट इफ वी become a part of US or USSR, then we will lose our freedom. We will have to accept, we will have to follow the superpower, either US or USSR. So in that situation, the first important thing was that we won't remain, we would not have remained independent in our foreign policy matter. So it was decided that by adopting this non-aligned movement, what will happen, that we will be able to get assistance from any of the superpowers. So what we find that any international incident or any international matter is going on that matter, India was free to take decisions on its own according to its own interest. अगर इसके इंटरेस्ट में है कि जो कुछ भी हुआ उसको क्रिटिसाइज़ करने से इसका इंटरेस्ट सर्व होता है तो वो उसको क्रिटिसाइज़ कर सकती है. अगर उसको लग रहा है कि जो कुछ भी हुआ है अगर वो उसका सपोर्ट करती है तो उसका इंटरेस्ट सर्व होगा तो वो उसको सपोर्ट कर सकती है. तो दिस वाज द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट एडवांटेज ऑफ बीइंग नॉन अलाइंड, कि हम सुपर पावर्स के हिसाब से डिसीजन नहीं लेंगे कि अगर सुपर पावर किसी इंटरनेशनल मैटर पे किसी पर्टिकुलर कंट्री को सपोर्ट कर रहा है तो हमें भी उसको सपोर्ट करना पड़ेगा. नहीं, वी वर फ्री हम अपने नेशनल इंटरेस्ट के अकॉर्डिंगली या तो उसको सपोर्ट करेंगे या अपोज करेंगे. So this was the benefit of being a non-aligned country. So we will continue our discussion regarding this in the next class.